This first half highlight is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. And Mike Mamula has had a good first half. A lot of pressure on Favre. They just don't quite get there when it's Brett Favre. Right now, let's send you down to Bill Vargas.
Okay, Pat. Mike Holmgren stayed on the field after the halftime gun to complain to the officials. He felt that the Eagles committed some pass interference penalties on that final goal line stand. But as far as adjustments coming out for the second half, Mike Holmgren says he's really not going to make any major adjustments. He says drop passes were the main thing, so he's not going to make any major adjustments, including doing anything to get John Michaels, any help on Mike Mamula. As you mentioned in the first half, Mike Mamula has had a great half, and we're getting ready for the second half coming up in about 5 seconds. Pat?
All right. Thank you very much, Bill.
You want to see an interesting kickoff formation, Bat? Watch this one. This is what the Eagles do. This is a bunch kickoff. You see, they don't line up in a line where the Packers know who to block. They line up here in a bunch. They all get in a circle, and then they're going to, boom, they're going to break out of that and then go downfield. So the Packers don't know which one they're going to block. Watch this one.
High kick down to Schrader. Schrader. And maybe they didn't know which one to block, but Schrader gets it back outside the 30.
They found out quickly, didn't they, which one to block.
Let's look at first half statistics. Packers lead at 6-0.
Neither team really got control of this thing. Now. You know, neither offensive line took over, and you can see that, you know, unless you can rush. The Packers only have 46 yards, and the Eagles have 47 yards of rushing. Unless you can rush the ball, run the ball, it's hard to knit things together, to keep them together.
Remember, they had a tough time rushing the ball against the Bears in the first half last Monday night. This is Levin. First down and more. Finally tripped up by Troy Benson.
Well, like Mike Holmgren was saying at halftime, you know, all they have to do is do the same types of things they did, because they don't have to give John Michaels a lot of help, because the guy that helps John Michaels more than anyone is Brett Favre by just getting away from him.
That was a 14-yard pickup by Levens.
And, of course, they have to eliminate those drop passes that they had.
Here's Favre. Caught by Brooks. Brett Favre got hit a lot in the first half. He wasn't sacked, but he got hit a lot.
Yeah, and it was every time that, you know, he would just throw the ball, and the guy that was doing most of the hitting was Mike Mamula. But that's, you know, I know Ray Rhodes is telling him, okay, every time Brett Favre goes back to throw the ball, we want him to end up on his back.
You saw 3 times he did. Here's Favre back to throw. Steps up into the pocket. Shovels, and the pass is picked off by Rhett Hall. Hall to the 20, to the 15. Favre with the underhanded backhand pass makes the stop. This time, it didn't work.
And he got the pressure again from Mike Mamula. Mike Mamula was coming around the corner. He had to step up inside, and then he threw that errant pass. But watch Mamula here. He's coming here. Brett Favre will see him coming and step inside of him. You see, he feels the pressure here. Now watch when he feels it there. You see, then he has to step up. Then he gets more pressure straight up the middle. He underhands the ball, but he underhanded it right to Rhett Hall. That's Rhett Hall, number 97. He's just back there. He just starts rumbling down that sideline.
And the Eagles have it, 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 15. Water knocked backwards. Maybe if they give him his motion forward, he got a yard.
At Gilbert Brown, I mean, sometime they're going to figure out we cannot run the ball right at Gilbert Brown. I mean, that's the old, I mean, you know, the rat and the mouse. I mean, the rat goes in, turns left, boink, he gets hit over the head. Turns right, he goes to the cheese. I mean, you can only go to the left so often. I mean, you see what Gilbert Brown did there? That was like running into a wall.
Don't they watch the same tapes we watch?
I don't know, but I would try someplace else to run other than at number 93 Green.
You better know where he is if you're going to try to run. Here's Detmer back to throw. the pressure from Reggie White that time underthrows Waters.
See, and again, you know that creates that 2nd and long. See, because you go on 1st down and you try and run, and you don't have any success. Then you get a 2nd and long. Then you don't have any success. Now you're 3rd and 10. And again, this Eagle offense and their players are not set up for 3rd and 10s.
Well, you double team Big Gilbert Brown, and then that means you single on Reggie White and the other 2 defenders.
And watch him now on a 3rd and long pass rush situation. That's when Reggie's at his best.
Here comes Reggie. Knocked Detmer down. He got rid of the ball, but that wasn't his fault.
That was Reggie's old hump move. And you see he did it perfectly to Barrett Brooks. Watch Reggie here. There's Barrett Brooks. Now watch, he starts like he's going to go up to the outside, then he gets his right arm in there. Watch his right arm. See the right arm? And just with one arm, he just lifts him and throws him to the side, and then just whap right over Troy Detmer. Well, you could see that one coming. When they got 3rd and 10, you knew Reggie was coming that way.
And he brought the full package. Bonio will try from 32 yards out this time. And Bonio is good this time. It's 6-3. The Packers up by a field goal. 12.5 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Is brought to you by Starter, professional sportswear worn by more teams and more major sports than any other brand. By MetLife, get Met, it pays. By Speed Stick Gel, it's unbeatable gel protection just for the guys. And by Snickers, not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers. Hungry? Why wait?
6-3. The Packers over the Eagles. 12:32 left in the 3rd. There's that bunch cover to cover the kickoff again. Aaron Hayden will return this kick. And Hayden still on his feet. Flag on the play. Good return by Hayden. Aaron Hayden.
Remember, Aaron Hayden was the starting running back a couple years ago with the San Diego Chargers. They let Natron Means go, and Hayden was going to be their running back. Yeah, if we watch that bunch again, Pat, we see
on the return team, number 95.
You see what they do is these guys all have an assignment of who they're going to block, but they don't know where they are until they release from here. So now as you watch the thing, as they come out and they start to go, you see they go out into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side of the kicker. Now what the Packers are doing is they're just zoning it. They're not worrying about where they line up. They're just coming down, setting up, and then the bunch was good. The coverage was pretty good, but they missed tackles when they got down there.
2 missed tackles. Here's Favre. To Levin. Hit by Willis and knocked backward. For no gain.
Now, they didn't know if James Willis was going to be okay to play today, and he's been playing pretty well. We're talking about Gilbert Brown and the inside running when you run against the Packers, and the Packers have been having the same trouble with their inside run with James Willis. Of course, Willis being a linebacker, Gilbert Brown being an big old tackle.
A lot of people said, well, they won't miss Edgar Bennett because they got Dorsey Levin. Pass is caught by Thomason, the tight end.
We said Mark Shimura was really one of Brett Favre's favorite targets, and that's his favorite pass pattern. You know, if you're going to double outside and you're going to double out on Antonio Freeman or Robert Brooks, then you have to be able to get someone up the middle. Whereas you don't have Shimura now, so that guy has to be Jeff Thomason. They weren't even sure yesterday if Jeff Thomason was even going to suit up.
They weren't even sure in the pregame warm-ups how effective he'd be. But he's caught a couple of passes. This is Levins again. Not much doing. You can't run around him. Greg Jefferson made the stop.
You know, and this is kind of what a big play offense is, that when it lacks consistency. You see, they have 5 pass plays for 128 yards. Then they had 24 other pass plays that only gained 56 yards. Well, that's kind of the all or none type of theory. But again, the Packer offense just really hasn't been in sync today.
2nd and 12. Gives 11. Stayed ahead inside the Philadelphia 40 down to the 39. Stopped again by Willis.
Someone better tell John Michaels the snap count. John Michaels is trying to block Mike Mamula, and he has a tough time doing it. You watch him here. Here he is here. He doesn't even get out of his stance. Watch the ball snap. Look, he just stays right there. What the heck's that all about? That's one way to thinking if you don't move, maybe he won't move. John Michaels stayed in the stance.
You know, it's amazing how many times that happens at this level when the offensive linemen forget the snap count. Favre looks right, throws left, incomplete.
I mean, if you're blocking Mike Mamula, you know, I mean, that's the one advantage that an offensive guy has, is that he knows the snap count and the defensive guy doesn't. And if you're blocking Mike Mamula, you want every advantage you can get, and you don't want to forget your advantage.
And you don't want to forget the snap count because, as you said, that is your advantage.
But how can you do that and just stay in your stand? Everyone else is playing and you're just staying in your stance.
I don't know.
What the heck is that?
In shock.
I'm in shock. I just passed out.
Come back soon. Into the end zone. They'll bring it back to the 20. The score remains 6-3. Who would have thought? We talked about shootout and thought about shootout, but 3 field goals. Today's shots from above is the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. The Goodyear Blimp's first live sports coverage was way back in 1960 at the Orange Bowl. First and 10 at the 20. Detmer back to throw. Doesn't have much time. And misses Ricky Waters.
You know, and that's what has happened to both of these teams. They really haven't gotten a running game going. And then because they don't have a running game going, the defenses are just teeing off, so the passers don't have any chance. And the defensive lines, I guess, of the defenses have really taken over this game, and the offenses haven't gotten any control of it.
2nd and 10. Fryer on the move. Here comes the rush from Green Bay again. Detmer gets it out to Michael Timpson. Tyrone Williams made the stop, and he was a little slow getting up, but he's okay.
There's Tyrone Williams is taking Craig Newsom's place. You know, they say that's not a big thing because Tyrone Williams played in their nickel and dime, and whenever they played nickel and dime, he was a corner. So he played corner for him all last year in big games all the way to the Super Bowl, and covered Jerry Rice and and Michael Irvin and all the top guys in this league. So they're not worried about Tyrone Williams as far as the cover goes.
Here's Detmer back to throw, and here comes the rush by Reggie White around the corner, and the flag goes down.
And they're finally getting to Barrett Brooks. You know, they were worried about Barrett Brooks. He was his starting left tackle for a couple years. Then he was beaten out by Jermaine Mayberry. So then he was moved to right tackle. Last week it was Troy Drake who started. Troy Drake isn't even suited up today. Barrett Brooks is starting at right tackle and having to block Reggie White.
There's no foul on the play. 4th down.
4th down, no foul.
There's Reggie White right here, and you just see he doesn't use the hump move there. It looks like Barrett Brooks is waiting for the hump move. He's waiting for that inside arm to come up to his inside, and then he just lets him get that outside shoulder and run right around him.
Hutton back to punt it. Left foots it to Schrader. Signals fair catch. Makes it. Green Bay will take over just about their own 40-yard line. Big back of Gilbert Brown, 6'3", his team leads. Historic Philadelphia, that's the house of Betsy Ross, the famous house of Betsy Ross, the interior. where she sewed the original flag with the 13 stars signifying the original 13 colonies and what it's grown into. They've done a marvelous job here. 1st and 10 for the Packers at their own 40. Levens goes in motion. Favre looks to Freeman, throws to Brooks. 1st down.
You know, these Eagle corners, Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor, have really done a good job. I mean, they've jammed the outside receivers. They've kind of controlled those slant and those quick outside areas. So now Brett Favre, has he found anything soft? It's in the middle. So that's where he's going to work with his back, his tight end, and bringing his receivers into the middle of the field. That's where the open area is in this pass defense.
Collison, the tight end, is on the right side. Favre fakes. Blitz is coming. Freeman out of bounds. Brian Dawkins took him out of bounds. Favre was taken down by the blitz.
And now here's Bobby Taylor. He's a corner. Now he's going to come on a blitz, and that's who he hits. You see, the minute that Favre feels that Bobby Taylor's coming, he knows that Antonio Freeman is working on a safety out there. And at some point he's going to be open, but he has to be able to stand in there and get the ball off and get it to Freeman as Bobby Taylor is hitting him.
And he threw that ball leaning backwards. Threw it kind of sidearm, but still got it there.
And getting smacked.
This is Levens. Favre carried out another of his famous fakes that time after he handed off to Levens.
Usually when you hear that, did you hear that noise in there where someone went, whoa? That's usually a groin pull. You know, when you start going one way and someone goes back the other way, and you're running. Yeah. But whoa, you know, he went the other way. But no one pulled a groin, but that's the sound you usually hear before a groin pull. But all 22 are still out there that started to play.
Favre buckles up his chin strap. 2nd and 7. Henderson and Levens moved. Here comes the blitz again. Levens stayed in to pick it up. Favre is high. Intended for Brooks. A flag on the play.
Yeah, they're going to call that hitting Favre late that time. Again, they've been trying to knock him down, and they have been knocking him down every play. And they've been close. They've been close before. They're going to say that one that he threw the ball, because they've really been beating him up pretty much today.
We have a personal foul on the defense. Number 20, roughing the passer. 15 yards. 1st down.
Dawkins.
And you're going to see he's going to come from the other side. You see they have the pressure up there. There's Dawkins just coming straight up the middle. And he hit Favre just after he threw it. That was pretty close.
Very close.
I don't think Brett Favre was sure that was a penalty himself, because he's had worse ones today than that one that Brian Dawkins just did.
He didn't argue. He didn't protest. 18 times he's been hurried or hit. That's Henderson inside the 10 to about the 8. Mamula on the bottom of the pile.
You see that fake after the handoff?
Yeah.
Watch him. Here's the thing that he tries to do, and it's not bad. I mean, he just hands off, then he fakes a jump pass. And he looks. He's just out there playing. I mean, that's his old jump pass fake. And like I said, he says he has a dive option that he fakes now. He has a bootleg he fakes.
Adding to his repertoire, 4 wide receivers. Back to throw. Drills it. Incomplete. Intended for Schrader.
Boy, that could have been an
covered.
interception.
Yeah.
I don't know that Brian Dawkins saw that, because that was into double coverage. But again, you know, Brett Favre is so confident. He throws the ball so hard. He really believes that he can throw the ball into the hole of a donut. And that's what he tried to do there. I mean, he tried to throw that into a hole of a donut.
Big donut.
Schrader, the donut was right between the 8 and the 4 of Schrader. He hit him there. The ball bounced up in the air. Brian Dawkins almost got it.
3rd and 7. Favre fakes and throws it away in the end zone, and field goal time again. Favre is down after he let it go.
Again, he was hit by Bobby Taylor on that same blitz. He took advantage of Taylor, but Taylor was a guy that's going to come off that corner again, and you're going to see him coming up here, right here, and he's going to make. We see when Brett Favre turns, the first thing that he sees as he turns to throw, he sees number 21. He just threw it up in the air and threw it away.
Ryan Longwell, 27 yards this time, is good. And the Packers increase their lead to 9-3. This week on the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week, the playoff race heats up when the American League Eastern Division rivals clash as the Yankees battle the Orioles, plus other key matchups. Coverage begins a half hour before game time within the zone, followed by all the action. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area.
Yeah, we got a lot of action going up in the air above this stadium.
Yeah.
A lot of traffic up there. I mean, there's airplanes flying by, there's blimps. They just keep going around the stadium. Too much action above the stadium.
A lot of field goals in the stadium. Witherspoon decides to kneel in the end zone. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Pat, you mentioned a lot of field goals. Here's a game you can relate to. 3 field goals by John Casey, 2 in the last 3 minutes, including that game winner as the Panthers upend the Falcons 9-6. Let's take it back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
The Packers over the Eagles, 9-3. 5:42 left in the third.
You know, Pat, since the first quarter, Ty Detmer has only been 3 out of 9 for 18 yards.
There hasn't been a lot of offense. Detmer is still the quarterback. Looks left and throws to Pryor. Pryor's down at the 25. Pick up at 5. Doug Evans made the stop.
Now they know that if they're going to throw up the middle or run, you better get Gilbert Brown blocked. You better get him double teamed. That's a way to keep him on the line of scrimmage, and that lets Ty Detmer, at least if he's going to throw inside, at least step up, throw it.
And at least Gilbert will keep his hands down. Waters on the move. This is Garner. A lot of short steps and not much yardage. Evans again on the stop.
And they just can't get any running going. I mean, they've tried the middle, and obviously that doesn't work at all. And then they tried to come off the corners or outside, and they can't get anything out there because the Packer defense is too fast, and they're good tacklers. So the only thing they have left to do is probably to pass every down.
3rd and 3.
Now this isn't a bad situation. They're only 2 out of 11 on 3rd down situations, but this isn't a bad down and distance.
There's Detmer on a semi rollout, gets it to Pryor and gets enough for a Philadelphia first down, chased out of bounds by Tyrone Williams.
And see, they have something going now. When they get that 3rd and 3 or 4, then they can do things like this where Detmer just gets the ball and he's just going to sprint out, just opens up, sprints out, and on that 3rd step just hit the guy and he has the first down. But if that were 3rd and 8 or 9, then they would have had a punt with that much.
1st and 10 Philadelphia. Detmer back to throw. Pryor out of bounds in front of the Green Bay bench. Another Eagle first down.
And I'm sure that John Gruden, the offensive coordinator of the Eagles, decided that this is what we're going to do. We haven't had any success running on first down, so what we're going to do is open up and throw on first down, and you have a more success. And then if you get 5 or 6 yards, here they got a first down. But if you get 5 or 6 yards, then come back and run on 2nd down.
This guy's an amazing athlete. 14 years he's been playing. He's still one of the best conditioned athletes anywhere in the NFL or anywhere in sports.
I think those two go hand in hand. If you're going to play for a long time, you have to be a well-conditioned athlete.
The draw play to Waters. Chase from behind, but he gets to midfield.
I think that's pretty good there, where they get the pass and they loosen things up. They hit Fryer out there, and then they come back to the running game. And now they got the first down, and now I would think that they would go and pass again on first down. and try and get things loosened up and maybe come back and run on second down.
That defense has been on the field a long time. 1st and 10, not just this time, but throughout the game. They had to play a lot against the Bears Monday night, too. Detmer has time. The ball is batted up in the air by Reggie White.
Well, they picked up the blitz. Leroy Butler comes from the outside. Here's Reggie. Leroy Butler's going to come from the outside, and they pick it up. They get Reggie blocked right here, and he just gets in the lane there. He sees the lane that Ty Detmer's looking for. You see that? And he just moved over a little to the right and got his hand up there and knocked that ball down. If you're not going to get the passer, the next best thing to do if you're a pass rusher is get into the passer's lane.
2nd and 10. Detmer back to throw again. Screen pass. Stacked up by the Packers. Ricky Watters brought down by Santana Dotson.
There's an active player. I think, you know, we talk about Gilbert Brown and how he plugs up everything in the middle, and Reggie White is famous as a pass rusher and run stopper, but Santana Dotson has really helped this defense. He's not Gilbert Brown. He's very active. I mean, he's a guy that hits gaps, that gets penetration, that runs things down, plays screens like he just did there. Plays nose tackle in a 3-man line like he is now.
Detmer back to throw. Chase completes the pass to Kevin Turner, who gets a couple of yards. Doug Evans again on the stop, and the Eagles will have to punt it.
And that's the difference we've been talking about is the 3rd and 10. They don't have the plays to get the first down. When they were 3rd and 3, we saw that. They did have a pass play for that.
9-3, Green Bay over Philadelphia. Clock running out in the 3rd quarter. It's about time for Green Bay to start loosening things up. Hutton back to punt.
They've tried to loosen things up, but this Eagles defense has been very strong today.
This is a good punt by Hutton. And he's down by the Eagles at the 6-yard line. That's the 3rd time the Packers have had to start inside their 10. So Green Bay takes over with the score. Green Bay 9, Philadelphia 3, 1:46 left in the 3rd. Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, 9-3. Green Bay over the Eagles. Green Bay has the ball at their own 4-yard line.
And this is where the Eagles can start thinking big play defense. You know, make something happen down here and you can get a touchdown.
Favre gives to Levens. Gets outside the 5 to maybe the 6. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
You see Brett Favre, he's wearing rubber bands. You see he has a rubber band right there on both wrists. His daughter Brittany in training camp this year gave him 2 rubber bands and says, wear the rubber bands on your wrist, it'll bring you good luck. So ever since training camp this year, he's been wearing the rubber bands. He wears them not only in the game, he wears them all day everywhere. Has rubber bands on both wrists at all times. Because Brittany says it'll bring you good luck.
2nd and 6. Favre. Pass is incomplete. Bounced off Freeman. Stayed in the air. Almost long enough for somebody to make a play on it.
I'll tell you, these safeties right here have been waiting for those slants in there all day. And it's a tough thing because the safeties are just turning. Zordich on one side, Dawkins on the other side, just waiting for those slants. And you have to hit it in there, and they're tightening that hole up all the time.
Irving Fryer, now we're told, has a concussion, and his return is questionable. 3 wide receivers. Here's Favre outside to Levens, and Levens gets away from a tackler and gets the Green Bay first down and buys the Pack some room.
Well, Troy Vincent missed a tackle on that one. They had the perfect play call because they're blitzing right into Favre. You see they have the blitz coming, Taylor's coming, Thomas coming, he throws it out here. Now right here, Troy Vincent has to make that tackle, and it wouldn't have been a first down.
That's right.
Dorsey Levens runs by him, gets the first down.
First down, Packers at their own 20.
That was a perfect play call because they caught him in a blitz. They caught him coming from that side, and they screened to the side of the blitz.
Henderson and Levens behind Favre. Dorsey, Levens. Just shy of the 30, about the 29. Bobby Taylor made the stop. Nobody really able to sustain a drive of any length today. That'll be the last of the third quarter. 9-3. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score Green Bay 9, Philadelphia 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. This today provided by the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. Our thanks to Captain Dan Thomas and the crew for the many spectacular shots in today's broadcast. 2nd and 1 for Green Bay. Henderson will get the one. And that's about all.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, Pat, this second week of the season that the scoring is down. And I think the reason for it is you know, preseason everyone hides all their good stuff. They don't play their players, you know, a lot of the game. And then they really have the whole off season to get ready for their opener. Then the second week, everyone sees what they're going to do, and the scouting reports are a lot better than they were the first week.
A lot of field goals in the NFL today.
And I think the defense has gained the advantage in the second week of the season.
Favre fakes to Levens and fires to Freeman, who backs to the 45-yard line. First down, Green Bay. Dawkins made the stop.
And you were right, fires to Freeman. I mean, he really did. He looks to the left, and here's Freeman is going to come down, and here's that zone. You see the short and then the safety underneath, and he just comes under control, gets by the corner, and gets right in front of the safety. And that's all he has to do, and boom, he zips it.
I think that ball knocked him backwards for about 4 yards. First and 10, Green Bay at their own 45. Favre fakes to Henderson, drops it out to Brooks to midfield. Bobby Taylor up to make the stop. Brooks, what a miraculous recovery he made from a knee injury that I think probably would have finished a career for a lot of people.
Well, you know the type of guy that Robert Brooks is and the beliefs that Robert Brooks has that he was going to come back. I mean, that there's no one that's going to work harder. I mean, he has that work ethic that, you know, you just work everything. I mean, he has that same thing that Irving Fryer has. We talked about earlier. The same thing that Jerry Rice was the master of.
Thomason moves left to right. Favre gets to Levens. A yard shy of a first down. Stopped by William Thomas.
That was a big play. You know, you look back at big plays that when the Eagles had him backed up down there and they got him a third down, they threw that screen pass and Dorsey Levens had Troy Vincent, you know, and it got the man-on-man. If Vincent makes that tackle, the Packers are going to have to punt. If Levens makes them miss, then the Packers get to keep the ball, and that's what happened.
Big Frank Winters is the offensive center, the man who calls all the line blocking assignments for the Packers.
Old Bag of Donuts.
Bag of Donuts calls Brett Favre kid. Levens leans to his right, and I don't think he got the first down. They needed about a yard. They got about a half.
I don't even know that they got the half.
Here comes the punting unit.
Yeah, there's the defensive coordinator right there, the Philadelphia Eagles, Emmett Thomas, who does a great job as a defensive coordinator and I remember playing against him for years when I was coaching the Oakland Raiders, and he was a cornerback for the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the best that have ever played.
And a wonderful coach also. High kick by Hendrick. Vincent lets it bounce, goes into the end zone, and the Eagles take over at the 20. Brett Favre in conversation with Mike Holmgren. Nothing has worked much on the offensive side of the ball.
Bola.
On first down. Waters gets an Eagle first down and carries Eugene Robinson about an extra 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, this game has been such a defensive struggle. I mean, all you have to do is get a touchdown here, and you can win this thing. And the Eagles defense have really held on for them. The Packer defense have held on for them, and one of these teams is going to break loose and get the ball in the end zone, and that's probably going to be the team that wins the game.
Irving Fryer back into the game. Detmer gives to Waters. Waters hammers straight ahead to the 35. Picked up 3.
Well, we were talking to Fritz Shermer yesterday from the Green Bay Packers, the defensive coordinator. The number one thing he says you always have to do is stop the run. I mean, even though you got pass rushers and you got nickels and you got blitzes and you got all that thing, none of that stuff will work if you don't stop the running game. So he says the number one thing that we have to do is stop and control Ricky Waters.
Total yards heavily in favor of the Packers. And the scoreboard reads 9-3 Packers. Flag on the play.
Looked like the offensive line moved. Left side of the Mayberry and Panos.
False start. Prior to the snap. Offense number 80. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Irving Fryer.
Now, that should never happen. The wide receiver should never move. I mean, because the wide receiver can look in at the ball. Although we just had a report a minute ago, I can't believe this, that Irving Fryer had a concussion. He's in there. We had another report earlier that Kevin Turner had a concussion. He's in there.
He's in there.
They're playing with concussions.
Second and 11. There's Detmer, and this time he has time. Intended for Jimmy Johnson. Incomplete. He's the blocking, so-called blocking tight end.
And that's what happens when you throw a ball to a wide open blocking tight end. I mean, that ball was right in there. He looked it into his hands. He tried to bring his body into it and do everything. He just dropped the ball. That brings up that dreaded 3rd and long for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And big Gilbert Brown and
watch this guy tee off now.
92. 3-man rush. Detmer has time and has a completed pass to Michael Kingston. And that's enough for a first down.
And they had good pass protection that time. Like you said, the Eagles have good protection. They go solid. The Packers went into a 3-man line. They blitzed. They brought Wayne Simmons, and that gave Timpkins time to do this. Now he knows where the first down has to be. See, here's the post right there. You have to get by there. He catches the ball right at it and swings around to get the first down.
Roderick Mullen, the cover man. Here is Detmer to Waters. Waters wearing him down. Gets about 8 or 9.
That's not a bad thing to do, to go the whole game, and then it's harder to run in the first quarter, and then it's a little easier in the second quarter. It's a little easier in the third quarter, and the easiest running that you'll ever have will always be the fourth quarter.
Brings up that old question: is why does the defense always get tired and not the offense?
I don't know. I mean, that's why do they always take out defensive linemen and leave the offensive linemen in there all the time?
Waters again. This time, not much doing. Dave Wilkins.
I still don't think you can run a big old Gilbert Brown, though. I mean, I think you can slash off those corners, to kind of get off tackle a little. I think you can run by Gilbert Brown. I think where you're going to have the tough time is running at Gilbert Brown.
Fritz Shermer's got some signals on every down.
Yeah, I mean, and he's changing from 4-man line to 3-man line, from nickel to dime to regular to blitzes to no blitzes.
On first down, no blitz. Detmer, Fryer has caught. A catch by Fryer. Right now for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Pat, the Giants trying to get something going here. Dave Brown 4 for 4 on this drive, including that 8-yard bullet to Chris Callaway. They've cut into that Jacksonville lead 23-13, that late in the fourth. Back to Pat Summerall, John Madden.
We're in the middle of the fourth. 7.5 minutes left to play. Packers leading by 6. Nothing but field goals. Waters again. Waters to the 30. The Packer 30.
See, and that's the place to go, is to go around Gilbert Brown. Watch him here. You can't run in here, boom, right at him, but you can go at this angle and go around him, and that's what the Eagles are doing now. You see, they start in there, they get down on him a little, they hold, and they just run right by him. You see, if you get out of his reach, if you stay within either arm's reach, you can't run there. But if you get outside that reach, you have a chance.
And they just barely got outside that reach that time. Less than 7 minutes. They go again with Waters. Waters is close to another Eagle first down.
Can't you feel the tempo being picked up here by the offensive line of the Eagles, and maybe specifically by Ricky Waters?
Yes, I can.
And I know that Fritz Shermer's thinking right now, you know, we got to stop Ricky Waters. We got to gang up on him. And the guy that you stop him with when you do that is you get Leroy Butler up in there. And that's what Fritz will do. He'll get his strong safety up at or around the line of scrimmage and give him an 8-man front.
And then that's the time to put it up.
And that's the time you have to be able to throw the ball. See, now this is really a down that is a great down if you want to take a shot for a play pass. Yeah, I mean, they get in a short yardage, and they think it's short yardage, and then you faked in there, and you just throw a ball deep. I don't know that the Eagles will be thinking that way now, but if you're going to do a play pass, if you're going to do a fake play, this is a great situation to do it.
Remember, back in the first half, the Eagles had it inside the 5, first and goal, and fumbled. They're getting close again. Detmer tried.
Ooh, he didn't have it unless he got it at the end.
Yep, with the second surge, he might have gotten it, but he didn't get it with the first.
He tried to get in there behind Joe Panos, and there was nothing there, and then he went over and got behind Ian Beckles.
Wherever Gilbert Brown was, there can't be much there.
I don't think you want to be flopping around there in a quarterback sneak. I don't know that Ty Detmer at 6 foot, 190 pound would be a great quarterback sneak runner.
They're going to measure and see if Detmer did get it. And by just the nose of the ball, he got it.
And that was just that little effort at the end, because you're going to see him come here and not get it and then come back here. You see right there, he doesn't have it. He's trying to Gilbert Brown, and then he gets this little move to this side, and he just gets that extra push right there at the end. Ooh, that was tight.
That was close. That's the 5th first down of this drive for the Eagles.
But why would you run a quarterback sneak at Gilbert Brown?
I don't know. They must have missed him, but I don't know how you could do that either. Here's Detmer on first. Fryer. That's the same play that worked for him earlier on first down. Fryer gets it down to...
I think that's
another first down.
That's when they started to get things going, when they started throwing on first down because they were having no success running. Then they can come back, and this has been a pretty good rundown for them.
Yep.
After they throw on first down, then come back and run on second down.
2nd and 2. Waters inside the 15, and that should be enough to move the sticks.
See the guy that was up there, number 36, Leroy Butler. That's what we talked about. If Fritz Shermer knows that second down run, he's going to have to stop it now. So he gangs up with his 8th guy, and his 8th guy is a strong safety, number 36.
Irving Fryer has 7 catches for 113 yards. The 13th play of this drive coming up. It's going to be Waters. Ricky Waters picked up 2 or 3. Wayne Simmons to make the stop.
Mike Holmgren knows that, you know, that, like we said before the game, and he said before the game, that when you win a Super Bowl and you're the world champion, everyone plays you in every game like it's a championship game.
They play their best against the reigning Super Bowl champion, who leads 9-3. Here's Detmer back to throw. Incomplete. He had a man open in the middle. That was Charlie Garner, but the pressure was on.
And if he hits Charlie Garner with that, that's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Charlie Garner knew it. I don't know if Ty Detmer knows it or not.
Flag on the play. Detmer got up limping.
That's a signal for illegal man downfield.
Yep. Garner's not illegal.
Look at Reggie White. You see him? He's trying to find some oxygen out there. They're getting tired. They got a rule now. You can't take your helmet off to celebrate, but you can take your helmet off when the weather's humid and you're trying to get some air.
Yeah, air.
They still
that rule doesn't apply.
They still didn't say what the penalty is, did they?
Well, the signal was for, as you said, illegal man downfield.
I mean, they didn't say anything what the penalty was.
No.
They haven't marked anything off. What they're saying is, should we accept the penalty or turn it down? They're saying turn it down on the sideline.
We have an ineligible receiver downfield on the offense, number 61. That penalty is declined. It'll be third down.
Third down.
What it was 61, Steve Everett, the center. Now you see the line of scrimmage, and on a pass play, of course, he can't go beyond the line of scrimmage. See what he comes downfield and he makes a block down there. Now I don't know if that was supposed to be a screen pass or not, but he looked like
a one-man screen.
He looked like he was running a one-man screen.
Here's Detmer. Gets the ball to Fryer, who gets to the 1-yard line. It looked as if he might go in. And he was met by a wall at the 1. But it's a first down, Philadelphia.
And Reggie White just got to that lane late. Irving Fryer ran a crossing pattern. Ty Detmer read him when he got open and hit him.
First and goal at the 1. Remember, they've been here before and fumbled it. Waters will not score. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage even.
I still think I'd go over there where Reggie White was supposed to be playing. I think I'd work that right side because he's not in there. They haven't had any success right up that middle.
Shannon Clavel has taken his place.
Yeah, they can't run at Gilbert Brown. Reggie White, we saw him with his helmet off. I think he's a little tired. That's the area that I would work because he's not in there. I would run over here to this side.
3 tight ends. Waters doesn't get it. At about the 1-foot line, Waters is pushed back.
You know, it's interesting now. If the Eagles think that they need a touchdown, then they can go for it, run again on third, knowing that they're going to go for it on 4th down. See that? There's a good block right there.
The solid tackle too.
Right here, Jermaine Mayberry made a heck of a block.
Lamont Hollenquist led the defensive surge. 3rd and goal with the 1. Waters again, and he doesn't get in. Waters repelled. Fryer up to make the stop, and here comes the defensive Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, he's coming in on 4th down. What they're going to do is let this thing go to 2 minutes. Again, I would think you'd run over here. Again, they don't get Gilbert Brown blocked, so they don't have a cut back there, and they bring their safety up, and he makes the 8th man up. So anytime you're going to keep running, Rick Sherman will always bring that 8th guy up there that is uncountable.
2 minutes left. 4th and short. Nobody sitting down at Veterans Stadium. It's 4th at the 2-yard line. The 18 plays in this drive haven't gotten them a touchdown so far. They've had the ball 9 minutes and 18 seconds. This is all the Eagles. And they have more to go now than they did when they had the first down.
Yeah, and I think when you get to 4th and 2, that is really a long yardage situation. I think this has to be a passing down.
4 wide receivers for Philadelphia. And Detmer back to throw. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown. Freddie Solomon. And a flag down in the end zone, I believe. At the back of the end zone, something was thrown. It might have been out of the stands. Touchdown. Solomon. It is a touchdown.
And where's the penalty, Pat? It was holding on number 41. That's Eugene Robinson against the Packers. And, of course, it's turned down and a touchdown for the Eagles. And these fans stayed here this whole game, and they knew, like I said, you know, something's going to happen. I mean, there's been sparring, and then, boom, there's a big punch.
Bonio for the big extra point. It's 9-9 right now. Good for the extra point. It's 10-9 Philadelphia. A 19-play drive put the Eagles into the end zone.
Solomon, he's a receiver here. He comes in motion across. Boom, he's going to catch the ball right here. Eugene Robinson knocks Michael Timkins down, and that opens up the hole. Watch Solomon right here. Watch right there. Boom, you see them, they're down. That opened up the thing, and Freddie Solomon was wide open.
And now the Eagles to kick off the scoring drive. 18-19 play. Schrader will return the kickoff. And Schrader stumbles all the way to the 46-yard line. Good return. The kicker brought him down. 10-9, the Eagles lead the Packers, the world champion. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Veterans Stadium at Philadelphia. The Eagles lead the Packers by a point with 1:48 left, and the Packers have all of their timeouts remaining. A field goal for them will win it, or certainly put them ahead. Right now, the Eagles lead by a point. Here's Favre back to throw. Going deep for Freeman. Incomplete. Freeman protesting to the officials. That's not going to help.
You know, we say that, you know, that Brett Favre, you know, is a rhythm passer, and he's really not gotten into any kind of rhythm. And, you know, part of that is the offense, but again, I have to say the Eagle defense has really thrown him out of rhythm. I mean, they've thrown everything. I mean, they've had linebacker blitzing, they've had corners blitzes, they've had safety blitzes, they've played zone, they've changed up on every defense, and they didn't let Brett Favre so far get into any kind of rhythm.
Here comes the blitz. Favre lets it go. Incomplete. He was high to Brooks. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. Is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFL is prohibited. Third down.
You know, and how about the guy that caught the touchdown pass for the Philadelphia Eagles, Freddie Solomon? They waived him in training camp. He was home last week, and they called him, brought him in this week. He practiced a couple days and makes a big touchdown.
Ray Rhodes said he had a great training camp. Didn't want to let him go.
Well, they got Michael Timpson, and he's their starter now. Chris T. Jones.
Favre is sacked by William Thomas and knocked backwards, and there's no penalty marker down.
Well, from the start of this game, they've been knocking Favre down. Sometimes with the ball, sometimes without the ball. We're going to see the blitz just coming right here. You see they engage, and they engage. And boom, he just comes and takes off on him.
And nobody blocked him.
Nobody blocks Brian Williams. He just comes straight up the middle. And he just hit Favre, and Favre was looking. And here comes William Thomas. I mean, Thomas was on him before he could do anything about it.
4th and long. And it's a Packer timeout. 10-9, Eagles lead. Fourth and long, and Favre back to throw it. This time he has protection. Gets the ball to his receiver, Derek Mays, and Mays gets out of bounds at the Eagle 30-yard line.
Isn't that something? I mean, he was 4th and forever, and he stood back there and threw that ball to Derek Mays.
And it started to rain.
He brought the rain with that one. Watch Thomas. He's going to be right here on the outside. He just comes in under control. Missed tackle right there, although he did have the first down.
Yep.
He had the first down before that missed tackle by Brian Dawkins.
This guy is going to be a heck of a player. And the rain coming down.
You know, and all the Packers need is a field goal, so that's what they're talking about now. If they had to kick the field goal now, it would be approximately a 47-yard field goal. So every 5 yards that they can take, probably if they could take 10 more yards off of this or get 10 more yards of field position, they would feel a heck of a lot better.
They have one timeout left.
And this is what you're talking about, is you don't want to do anything goofy. You don't want any turnover. You don't want any penalty here. But you would like to gain 5 to 10 yards for your field goal, and then maybe you break one and you score a touchdown.
Favre gives to Levens. Levens comes around the corner. Levens picks up 5 yards and rolls out of bounds and stops the clock. They don't have to use that timeout.
So now we're talking about if they were to kick a field goal now, it would be approximately 41 yards.
Ryan Longwell is the rookie from California. They let Chris Jackie go. Longwell won the job.
Ray Rhodes is probably thinking there, what the heck do we have to do? And we have him 4th and forever. But he knew Brett Favre was capable of that.
Favre gives again to Levens, and Levens pounds down to about the 20. That's another first down. Ryan Longwell will have the opportunity, it appears, to kick a game-winning field goal for the Packers in the rain, and never in his career, going back to high school, has he had an opportunity or a situation like this.
Yeah, how do you kick in high school, college, and then get into the pros and never kick a game-winning? I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder if he hopes the Packers scores a touchdown, or if he just wants to get in and get it over with.
To the 15. Levens.
See, the Eagles aren't tackling well now. They got worn down a little. Their defense on that 4th down play that Brett Favre went back and hit Derek Mays with it, that took a lot of the air out of this defense.
That was a killer. Mike Holmgren.
But that's what a champion is. I mean, a champion is never out until you get that 10 count, and they didn't get the 10 count on Brett Favre. They got the 9. Got the 9 when William Thomas came on that blitz and threw him for the big loss on 3rd down, and looked like it was all over. And then Brett Favre came back and answered that with that pass to Derek Mays.
You recall, I'm sure, that the Packers drafted to get Brett Conway after Chris Jackie left and went to Pittsburgh. That was not a happy parting. Conway got hurt. Longwell won the job. And now let's see. The rookie from California, and never in a situation like this. Well, if he makes it, he won't be a rookie. If he misses it, he won't be a rookie anymore.
Yeah, well, he might not be anything anymore if he misses this, but they're making it shorter and shorter for him all the time. What you do is you take the yard line, 15-yard line, and you add 17 yards to it, and that's the length of the field goal.
Here comes the blitz. They give the ball to Levens, and Levens gets down inside the 10.
The Eagles haven't been able to stop this running game after that 4th down completion. They've been playing very, very soft on defense, something they hadn't been doing all day, and they're letting Longwell get closer and closer to this kick. And if they don't watch out, Dorsey Levens is going to break one of these things for a touchdown.
He almost has a couple of times. Philadelphia takes this time out. Packers have one left. 21 seconds left.
Ray Rhodes was really discouraged last week after the Eagles lost to the Giants. And in fact, Bill Walsh called him up and told him that to keep your chin up, to forget about it, and it's a long season and you got to get continuity. And says you're doing a good job, just stay with what you're doing, and he did stay with what he's doing, and the Eagles have given the Packers all they can handle today.
Those of you expecting to see beyond belief, you'll see it. But right now, here's what's happening at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. 3rd and 1. Levin slipped down. And the clock continues to run with 19 seconds on the clock. It's a Philadelphia timeout. 15 seconds left on the clock. Again, those of you expecting to see beyond belief, it will be seen following football, except on the West Coast where it will be seen at its regular time. Right here, it's Philadelphia 10, Green Bay 9, but the Packers have the ball inside the 15-yard line. The kicker, the rookie kicker, Ryan Longwell, has come out on the field standing by himself. This is not a pleasant wait.
You've been there many times before, huh? You know, but didn't they used to huddle up when you kicked? Didn't the field goal team get in a huddle? Now they just come out and line up right on the line of scrimmage. So
but getting in a huddle didn't make any difference. You never heard what anybody said. People ask you how you felt and what you thought. You can't remember.
What would you feel right now if you're the kicker?
I'm glad I'm here. Longwell. And the field goal is no good. Wide right. They did everything but make it. Ray Rhodes telling his team to get off the field and stop the celebration. 11 seconds left on the clock. But the Eagles have upset the Packers.
Watch the kick here. It's in between the hash marks. So he just gets out there and he just pushes it. He just pushes it right out to the right, and he pushed it out there, and it stayed out there. Brett Favre is looking at it. He's getting all ready to celebrate, and there's nothing to celebrate.
From 28 yards away, look at the holder and look at the kicker. You don't have to look at the ball. You know it was no good.
Well, we know he's had no experience of that. It's the first time he's ever been in that situation in his life. But Ray Rhodes, like Bill Walsh told him, stick with it. Stick with it. You're doing the right thing. And they proved today that they did the right thing. They rose to this occasion.
They hung in and almost let it get away. Ty Detmer, the ex-Packer.
John Gruden, the ex-Packer coach, right there, who was calling that offense. And I think a big thing when he started throwing on first down, I think that's the thing that loosened up that defense of the Packers and loosened up the offense of the Philadelphia Eagles, and they finally got their touchdown.
Did you notice the first guy to hug the kicker who missed? Brett Favre.
Because he knows if they're going to have success, if they're going to need him down the road, then you just can't let a guy like that get away. You just can't let him get down on something like that and never be able to recover. Here was the touchdown pass. Freddie Solomon went in motion. Ty Detmer had good time on that. That was good pass protection. This isn't a good offensive line, but they did their job today when they had to, this offensive line of the Eagles.
Freddie Solomon. That was John Madden was telling you before, was not with the Eagles when the season started. Was in training camp, was let go in training camp and brought back this week. Those of you watching the Philadelphia victory over Green Bay 10-9, stick with us because you'll see the closing minutes of the Jacksonville Giant game when we come back.